So, Benjamin, how was your week? Please do tell.
Yeah, mainly shop maintenance. I bought a new eccentric press, so for my Maker's Mark engraving or punching or however you would put it. I had a big one before that I originally bought with the idea of forge welding steels together. That didn't work, so I bought a new smaller one, and the big one now moves to Hangler. And so I had to set that up. You have to measure the stroke, so the stamps don't hit together, and at the same time they hit the right distance for the blades to be stamped, right?
I mean, you stamp on both sides at the same time? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And I did it by hand before, but sometimes, when you're punching with a 2 kilogram hammer and holding the Maker's Mark at the same time, sometimes funny things happen, and then the position is off, or you don't hit it right, and then the Maker's Mark doesn't sit as deep, and there are no second tries on that. Either you get it right at the first time or not. So I did that, and I did a little rearrangement in my shop since I got the big hydraulic screw press, and I had to try to find a place for a room for the hydraulic unit for that machine. So essentially the motor, you could say, that is separate, and I'm running out of space slowly, so I had to rearrange a few things. I did that. And then I've also finished 3 handles, because 2 customers, one with 2 knives and one with 1 knife, wanted they wanted new handles for the knives, so I did that. Yeah.
So they are interchangeable.
They always have been interchangeable, but I have to fit the handle to the blade. So you can't just fit one handle from one knife onto the other, or from one blade onto the other blade. But if I make,
means.
I mean, if I make three, if I make 3 handles for one blade, they are still interchangeable, right? Smartest. Yeah. Come on.
Do you have customers buying a kitchen knife and then 2 extra handles?
2 extra handles happened as well, but that's super rare. But occasionally they will order 2 handles right away for one knife.
Yeah.
They are interchangeable. You would say that,
Yeah, I've said it.
Yeah,
but just for one blade.
But Paulus's handles are really interchangeable for all of his blades.
Yeah, but I mean,
for the same model.
We all know he just presses a button. He's one of those cheap CNC guys.
Yeah. Yes. It's so simple, guys. You just buy a CNC and you just press a button and boop,
it's like
comes out the part.
I feel like I pushed your button right now.
Hey, whoa. At least buy me a drink, man.
This new screw press you got, is it operational? Everything's working now? Or?
No. The first thing I probably have to do is buy new hydraulic lines, because the ones that were with the machine are partly like a how is it called? The a hose, or rubber bendable. How do you say it?
Yeah, hose.
Yeah, hydraulic hose. And then another part of it is a steel line. So that was made for their positioning, their fitting, and it doesn't fit with
the right lengths and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to get that first, and then I have to do the electrical stuff. And yeah, I'm kind of scared about that. We talked about it because electrical stuff was always my weak spot. But I recently, for my rearranging in the shop, I mounted new how are they called, where you put the electrical plug in onto the wall.
An outlet?
Yeah, the outlet. I mounted new outlets, and did some wiring and stuff. Was adventurous, but it works. So I guess I did it all right.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's a screw press, right, Ben? Why does it need a hydraulic unit? What does it need a hydraulic unit for?
I mean, normally they are friction screw presses. That's what you normally see. Then there are types where the electrical motor is more or less directly attached to the screw. And this one, instead of the screw itself being the part that moves the ram, there are 2 hydraulic cylinders that will move the ram down and therefore accelerate the screw. And what then applies the force on the workpiece is the inertia, the kinetic energy of the screw itself. But the hydraulic cylinders start moving all that. So they are super low diameter, so they don't have a lot of force, but they don't need to because they have to have a lot of speed, essentially, and they will start moving that, and the inertia then will hit the workpiece.
So you have like a big counterweight bounce like a fly press would have, but the hydraulic press gets it moving.
Yeah, there is on the top part where also there are hydraulic brakes to stop it from moving. There is a big weight that rotates with the screw, and all that gets into kinetic energy or gets moving and very interesting design. And the company where I have the press from is they are the only ones who build that kind of